lives. Sounding good.
So welcome to the Archangel Michael Centre, where I have the amazing Andrea. Is that how you say it? Andrina. She's very English, but lives on the Gold Coast, near that Great Barrier Reef, one of the 7 wonders of the world.
It certainly is. I'm not been there yet.
No, right, okay. But we've got her here for a very special reason, because she's an amazing teacher and sharer, and over her life has shared many great things that brings to England, although she's going back next week, I think, yeah?
Yes.
This great tool which I got excited about this morning and had a go at, and I love new modalities that I've never seen before, and it's called Sounding Good, which I really like. I think that's nice. So it's all about sound, but it's really about your sound rather than where I use singing bowls and gongs and all that sort of stuff. This is about your voice, and it's called or it's all about voice analysis. So yeah, basically what happens, well, hello and welcome.
Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit about it. You tell us what it's all about.
Right, Sounding Good voice analysis is my passion. Only from the journey I've been on of finding my own voice, finding a strength in my voice and a power that I didn't know I had. So now I feel it's made such a difference to me. I want to empower other people to find their voice and help them.
Yeah, so when you talk about finding voice, what does that really mean in a sort of spiritual context?
Well, God's given us a voice and we can use it to heal ourselves with. And this is just another tool. So what I teach you to do, I have a little instrument here, and you talk to me in a microphone, and this instrument records all the notes that your voice hits. So afterwards I will say to you, you're weak in C sharp, and that relates to tendons, ligaments and sprains, but on the emotional, you're secretly too hard on yourself.
So what I really loved about it was it really fitted in with my sound work, which we went and had a little play with afterwards. And of course each chakra has like a note that's associated and a colour, as we know, yeah? And this little box of tricks, what do you call this gadget? Is that got a name?
I don't know, well, it's just a called Metatron Tuner, so...
That's good enough for me, sounds very posh. Anyway, yeah, so all I did is talked into it for about 10 minutes, I guess, as long as I could. And what Andrina is doing is she's marking what notes appear in the little window here. And it was very fascinating because I was very heavy on one end but a bit light on the other end, and the notes I was light on was the D and D sharp and
weak.
I
D,
had some.
D sharp and F sharp.
Yes, so these sort of represented this sort of area of my body, which in chakra language, you know, equals, well, whatever's like around this part of your body, that's the bit that really needs healing. And when we looked at the notes, it completely, you know, agreed with that. So I know by doing my sort of chakra work that I'm a bit weak in that area. Weak is a good thing.
Definitely.
and certainly
needing attention.
Needing a bit of pepping up. Yeah, so then what we did is we actually practiced making those sounds. So there's this other great gadget down here.
Which is called a Shruti box.
Shruti box. I've never heard of it. I've seen one before. I'm sure I forget what it is. But anyway, basically you can set the note on this box, and there's a miniature version of this, yeah?
There is,
you were showing me this morning.
Yeah.
And you can even use like a guitar-y type tuner. So there's quite a lot of gadgetry. It's not like you've got to rush out and buy one of these great gadgets, although I'm tempted because I love it. But you can basically set all of these buttons over here to the specific note. And then you took me through the exercise of doing the vowels whilst listening to the resonance of
each note.
of each note, and I could really feel by just doing that. You teaching me how to do the breathing with it. I could really feel that resonance in my body, and you were quite right that a couple of the real sounds I could feel. Yeah, I've never really made that vibration before, which was so it was good. It was bringing that vibration back to me, and I'm trusting my spleen and my pancreas is all going to be much more healthy.
If you keep practicing.
But you have to practice. Yeah, it's like anything.
If
you want to get good at anything, you got to practice. So yeah. So how can we do a little demo?
Right. Well, we'll work with one of your weaker notes, shall we?
We are going to use me as a dummy. I have been used as a dummy before.
So we're going to work with the note of D, which was your liver, spleen and pancreas areas.
My liver, I've had a bit of alcohol in my time, so it probably does need a bit of pepping up.
But it's also emotional, it's your self-anger, So I need to look at those, but you
Been
know.
beating myself up over a few years, and now need to let that go.
So normally on a one-to-one or in a workshop, I use my Shruti because I just love the sound.
Yes.
So what we're going to do, this is a sound,
Yes.
and we're going to take a nice deep breath
Yeah,
in.
I have to
and
sit
sit
straight
up
for
properly.
this. Yes, I understand. And then you have to do belly breathing.
Yes, so
diaphragm
nice,
breathing.
fill out your
if
belly,
push.
nice deep breath.
Right, I was just suck it in, put it in my mouth. But anyway,
Right, are we ready? And then we're going to do A.
then you. You can hear my harmonics. I did train to sing for a while, so I can do the breathing, but it feels fantastic when you do that because you're focusing on the resonance. Now, you were saying about actually if I close my eyes and
Yeah, if you close your eyes, and depending on how sensitive you are, you'll feel the waves wafting through your body. So,
yeah,
and
then
it's
imagine
very relaxing.
imagine the colours and stuff like
Yeah,
that. you
but
said.
don't confuse people too much.
No,
If you just
sure.
relax and do, the deeper the breath, the longer the note. And it is practice. It will take a little while.
Sure,
but-
sure. Well, we had a good go about 15 minutes, I suppose. How much time do you think you need to give to it per day? What do you do?
Depending on how many notes you do. I mean, you can do as much as you like. I mean,
Yeah.
I do my week notes, and then if I'm going on a long journey, I take my little gadget with me, and then I'll go through the whole spectrum.
Oh,
So
right,
you're
okay.
keeping everything at bay.
Keeping it all tuned up.
Yeah, yeah.
And you do it in your car, I think.
I do, yes.
Wow,
It's my
okay.
little sacred space. So,
Lovely. So yeah. So there's no real excuse for not doing it.
No.
Because actually you've always got time. It's how important it is to you.
That's
How
right,
much you
yeah.
value bringing back
how
this
important is your
resonance.
time on
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah. So it's a real healing modality that's, well, I think what's great about it is you can really feel it in your body. And so I'm looking forward to practicing this. I'm not going to buy one of these, I guess, but I'll get some little gadget and then really work on that. And when you come next time, trust my little chart that you did is going to be way, way, way better.
That's
So,
good to hear.
yeah, what I was going to ask you, rather than do loads of practice, I'm
Right.
not sure they got the general idea there. So, what does a session involve if you come round to somebody's house and do a session, or they come to you?
It's usually about an hour. It's either way. I mean, people come to me, or I go to them, or I'll do a group of people. But I just let people talk for 10 minutes
Yeah.
and explain about the voice. I mean, the voice is the most powerful tool in the world.
Yes, yes.
You've got no voice. And also, if you've got no voice, if you're very quiet or you're very timid, you start doing these exercises, and believe me, it really
Yeah, yeah.
empowers you.
So very good for self-esteem and all of those things.
You know, I have got a website which is www.andrinaforrest.com, and there are testimonials on there, and there's also, I've got a person in Australia who's a voice coach, and he was so surprised to find he had 2 notes missing.
Oh, right, yeah, there you go.
And then I know somebody else who's a shamanic flute player, and his strong notes were the notes that he plays his flute in all the time. So it's amazing. So
Interesting.
and your partner should balance you out. So if you're weak in that end and your partner's high, and vice versa, you should balance each other out, because it's the sound of the voice that attracts you. on
I'm
another
very,
level.
very keen to test my wife. See where she is. But I think that's what's fun of it. You know, what I really liked is it's giving you feedback on you, where, you know, lots of stuff that you do, you know, you trust into the wind, which is great. You know, obviously trust is a great high energy thing to do, and it's all good for a bit of evidence and proof to keep the old ego happy. I think especially if you've sort of self-analysed yourself, you know, by doing the thing in the microphone, it's very clear where you're at, and so I really, really liked it. So